Can a team of first overall draft picks win a Stanley Cup? Let's find out. The answer to that question has to be yes. Look at this team. Obviously, it's going to be a good team because obviously you're going first overall in the draft for a reason, unless you're Neil Yakupov or Rick DiPietro. But we'll get to that in a minute, actually. Every player here drafted first overall, obviously. Absolutely stacked team. I almost did current, but I wouldn't have been able to fit defensemen in it anyway. And it's more fun this way. Alex Ovechkin, Mario Lemieux, Connor McDavid, first line. Second line, Patrick Kane, Austin Matthews, Nathan MacKinnon. Third line, Mike Modano, Sidney Crosby, Eric Lindros, which is an interesting story of being drafted first overall as well. And then fourth line, Howard Chuck, Matt Sundin, and Steven Stamkos. Obviously, some names missing from here, but these are the best forwards in the game that have been drafted first overall. Defense is fun because there's only actually 5 defensemen in the game that I could find, but the forward who is playing defenseman here was actually drafted as a defenseman, and that is Wendell Clark. Did you know he was drafted as a defenseman? I didn't. Should I know that? Probably, but I didn't. First line, Dennis Potvin, Aaron Ekblad. Second line, Rob Ramage and Rasmus Dahlin. Third line, Wendell Clark and Eric Johnson. I couldn't find Ed Jovanovski. I figured he would be in the game, but I didn't see him. I could have been blind. It's very possible, but did not see him. Goalies is the fun part, because there's technically only 2 goalies, I think, ever. Maybe a third. Either way, only one of them was in the game. Marc-Andre Fleury. DiPietro was drafted first overall. He's not in the game, so I got Michael DiPietro. No relation at all. They're not related in any way, but his name's DiPietro, so gonna have to do. The fact that DiPietro gets paid over $1 million every year still and doesn't have to do jack. His agent deserves all the awards available and deserves all that money too. While we're at it, let's be honest, I'm sure he's getting his fair cut. Following the same rules as always, doing 3 sims to see if we can win a Stanley Cup. This might turn into a how many Stanley Cups can we win in a row team though, because it is stacked, but we'll have to see if we actually get the 3P first. Then we must pick an MVP. Like always, you guys vote for the MVP. In the last episode, you voted for Sidney Crosby, which means we are allowing old players that were on the first MVP team can now return to the second MVP team, unless we just decide down the line that we don't want to do that. But I think might as well, right? And Lemieux's probably going to win this vote, unless you want to vote for someone else for fun. But I can already tell you Lemieux's going to have the best stats. I believe everything's been said, which means all that's left is to sim. I will see you at the end of year number 1. So yeah, year number 1, our team's pretty good. 124 points, 59, 17, and 6 being our record. Top of the NHL by far. Oilers 111 points. Closest to us, Connor McDavid. I suppose he's on this team. He could technically outbattle Lemieux, but Lemieux 52 goals, 102 points. McDavid 107 points, 32 goals, 75 assists. Matthews had 47 goals and 46 assists for 93 points. And Ovechkin 31 goals, 54 assists. Defensively, our best player was Dennis Potvin, 53 points, plus 26, plus 35 being the best from Ekblad. Most goals tied by Dahlin and Potvin with 6. Potvin had way more points than any other defenseman. I just realized he had like the rest of them combined an amount of points, basically. DiPietro did not too bad. 904 save percentage, 2.69 goals against average. Probably better than the real DiPietro stats. And then Marc-Andre Fleury in the starter position did a little bit better with 906 save percentage and 2.44 goals against average. To start a 3P run, you got to win the first year, and that's the all-important one. We're facing Dallas in the first round. I feel like we can't lose, but I say that a lot, and then we lose. We take the first 2 games, lose the third one, win the fourth one, and win the 5th one? We don't. We lose 7-3. Okay. And then we lose game 6, which means fancy sim early. It's gonna be one of those videos, is it? We're gonna lose to Dallas, even though we were up 3-1. No score in the first 2 periods. I'm playing it out. I'm doing it. I'm watching it. There it is. Howard Chuck on the 4th line beats Ottinger. Oh yeah, they have playoff Ottinger. Wendell Clark on D. Let's go. W. There it is. 3-0. I'm just simming the rest. We won 3-1. When in doubt, trust the fantasy sim. We're moving on to the second round, which is where we are facing, as we can see a little sneak peek at Crosby with 9 points. Show me the money. Who are we playing? Colorado. Okay. Obviously, our toughest opponents are going to be Colorado, Edmonton, Tampa Bay, Toronto, and I say Toronto because this game's simming engine. If you play, you know. And then obviously, Carolina's really good overall. We are tied with Colorado 2-2. I'm getting a little too ahead of myself. And we're down 3-2. Okay. We don't have to worry about an Eastern Conference opponent if we don't get out of the West. Well, it's not going to be a how many Stanley Cup wins in a row can we get, because we lost the first season to Colorado 4-2. Just kind of a yikes, because like our team's stacked, but I'm also not surprised. I'm not fazed anymore by anything in this game. And the Colorado Avalanche lose to the Washington Capitals. Washington is actually crazy good in our sims. Like if Ovechkin lived in the timeline of our sims, he'd be having the best time of his life if he isn't already. 11 goals for Lemieux, 18 points. Crosby only 2 goals, but 15 points. David 14 points. Ovechkin 11. Yada yada yada. 11 goals for Lemieux is over double better than the next person closest to him, which was Matthews. Defensively, Ramage was the best with Potvin for 3 points. Where'd you go, Potvin? You had so many points in the regular season, and he has a -4, -4 on the plus-minus sheet. Played DiPietro, and he actually didn't do bad, and Fleury did do bad. We should have just stuck with DiPietro, like genuinely. 889 save percentage and 3.18 goals against average is not it. Our season is over. Washington is the champs. We will move on to the second season. Year number 2 is a dominant regular season. Again, 128 points. Closest being 105 in the Oilers. I mean, with 61 wins, you think we do something. McDavid back on top with points for 105. No 50-goal season for Lemieux, but he was close. 46 goals. And Matthews right behind him again with 39. Ovechkin 34. Kane 32. So interesting. Are we going to go the goal route and pick Lemieux, or are we going to go the point route and pick McDavid? That's up to you. The choice is yours. No, we're actually picking Fleury, right? Actually, he played good this season. And he was actually on last thing, so we're not picking Fleury. I don't want the same goalie. We already have Brodeur, so we can only have one more. A 920 save percentage, 2.13 goals against average. Actually really good. And DiPietro's solid. He's better than Rick DiPietro. I said it. I feel like that's not a hot take. 907 save percentage, 2.43 goals against average. And I have to look at defenseman just to be nice. And Dennis Potvin is, do I even have to look? He's just our guy. If we're picking a defenseman, it's got to be Potvin. 50 points, 44 assists. The closest in points was Dahlin with 20. And only 9 penalty minutes, which when you look at the rest is also crazy. Like, he's actually really good. Guess that's why he was drafted first overall, like everyone else here. Minnesota in the first round. I believe we can do it. Show us that we can do it. We have to win a cup with this team, right? We can't go 0-3. I don't even know what to say if that happens. We'll worry about that if we have to face it. But for now, we're up 3-0 against Minnesota. And then we won 3-0 to make the series end 4-0. That is what we call a sweep. And now we have to play Dallas. Who did they beat? Oh, I don't even know. Colorado's out, so that's very good for us. We do take a 2-1 L to Dallas and a 3-1 L, so I'm going to shut up, I guess. Yup, here it comes. This absolutely stacked team. Playoff Jake Ottinger is just out of his mind. Like, he doesn't know how to lose, except for when they lost, but there it is. 3-2 loss to Dallas in the second round. Are you kidding me? Man, this might be the worst. This might be the worst performing team that should be absolutely amazing. And is it because I have Wendell Clark on defense? Is that holding us back is that holding us down that badly? Also, Toronto won, like I kind of predicted earlier. I'm just so confused. 10 points for McDavid. 4 goals, 6 assists. Lemieux, 5 goals, 4 assists for 9. So they're kind of battling out. I don't know. Aaron Ekblad had 4 goals. Dang. Like, is Fleury... How do we lose? Look at the stat. 934 save percentage, 1.69 goals against average for Fleury. And we're out in the second round. That is bananas. How? How can we not score with McDavid, Lemieux, Crosby, Ovechkin, Matthews, Kane, Lindros, Modano, I don't know. Rant. Not gonna go on another rant tirade, but holy moly. Fleury did win the Vezina and the William Jennings, fun fact. Is Fleury actually gonna get voted and be back on the team again? That would kind of be funny, I'm not gonna lie. We still have 1 year left, we're fine. We got the cup. I'm not even worried. I'll see you at the end of the third regular season. It'll be fine. Third season is our worst one overall. 54 wins, 21 losses, 7 overtime losses, 115 points, still top of the NHL. Panthers and Oilers had 105 points. Maybe, since it's our worst performing regular season, we can actually win in the playoffs. Lemieux might have just stole... Well, I don't know where your guys' headspace is at. I feel like he just stole it from McDavid. 43 goals, 49 assists, 92 points. McDavid only 28 goals, 53 assists, 81 points. Crosby on the third line. He's already on the theme team, so he has nothing to prove. But on the third line, 35 goals, 55 assists for 90 points. Pretty dang good. So everyone's doing everything they can because they're embarrassed about last playoff loss. We're going to pretend it never happened. 8 points for Potvin. I'm liking Potvin a lot. Like, as a defenseman, he couldn't be doing anything else better if we asked. Holy DiPietro. Shout out to the real DiPietro, Michael. 918 save percentage, 2.18 goals against average, and Fleury not so hot, not helping his MVP case. 900 save percentage, 2.66 goals against average. Could have been better, could have been worse. We're facing Dallas in the rubber match because we took them in the first year. They took us last year. We gotta win, man. We gotta win. 3-0 lead. Just get rid of them. I can't believe we lost last season. That literally made no sense. It's fine. Chicago. Interesting. Want to hear a funny joke? Chicago draft day. That was... I don't know what they were doing yesterday, but things definitely happened, that's for sure. We take 3 games off of them, and then we don't sweep, so it's not over yet. But we do take them in 5 games. We are in the conference finals, where we face the Vegas Golden Knights. You already know. We don't mess around when it comes to Vegas. We have to beat them. We take the first 2 games, lose the 3rd game, win the 4th game. We are 1 game away from the Stanley Cup Finals, where we might be playing the Rangers by the looks of things. Feel like we can handle that. We lose 8-2. Still have 2 more games to close it out, guys. Come on. Oh, we have 1 game left to close it out, guys. Come on. Fancy sim time. You already know it's fancy sim time. Simming the first period. I just can't comprehend us not winning with this team. Thank you. Ekblad and Dahlin, 2 defenseman goals in the first period. They steal 1 back with Jack Eichel in the second. 1 period left. All we gotta do is win. It's just that easy. Hey, Mike Modano right off the rip in the 3rd period. But they get a power play, don't score. I should be going on shots because it actually like shows where they're shooting. You actually get more action going instead of just goals. If I was smart, I would have done this from the start. It would appear that we are winning, though. Look at the shot difference. If we don't close this out, we got them. We beat Vegas in 7 games. Stanley Cup Finals bound. We have to win. We have to win. Like, sometimes they say we have to win. This time, I actually mean we have to win. Like, there's no way. It's the New York Rangers final season, final series. 3, 2, 1. Loss, win, win. That's what I like to see. They had us in the first half, I'm not going to lie. 6-5 loss, so that's kind of a rough start. But we bounced back, and we bounced back hard. 7-1 in the 4th game. 1 game away. It's going to fancy sim to try and get the celebration, and we don't need any of that. We don't need the fanfare. 6-1 victory, and we have done it in our 3rd and final attempt. The team of #1 overall picks has won a Stanley Cup. 16 goals for Ovechkin to lead the team. Points goes to Lemieux with 32. He dropped 14 goals as well. Other than that, no one else got 10. 9 from Stamkos, 7 from Potvin. McDavid only had 7 for 24 points, which was 3rd on the team. Where's Matthews? That's the last thing I want to see. He had 6 goals, 8 assists. And then obviously goalies. DiPietro did not do good when we put him in. Noted. And Fleury was okay. 912 save percentage, 2.43 goals against average. Obviously good enough to win a cup because we did. Only 1 shutout. Yeah, DiPietro, if you didn't have to play those 2 games. You are a winner in my heart before that. You kind of dropped your own stock a little bit, but it's fine. I still forgive you. And the team of first overall picks win a Stanley Cup. Heck yeah. Was it harder than it needed to be? Absolutely. We should have won at least 2. I really thought this team was going to 3-peat. I should have learned by now. That's just not how it works, though. Hey, at least we got 1. If we would have got none, I would have felt actually robbed. Who you think MVP should be? There's definitely some options, so I'm interested to see what you guys say. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.